What's going on, guys? It's Noob603, and today I want to talk about Titanfall and Battlefield 4 and the potential impact that Titanfall can or may not have on Battlefield 4. So we're all in agreement that Battlefield 4 is having issues. While it's not happening to everyone, it is recognized by most people at least, and as well as DICE and EA themselves, that the game has launched with far too many problems that they're working hard to fix it. The numbers, just overall numbers for Battlefield 4 are down as far as people playing it, people streaming it, so on and so forth. And a large part of that is due to the bugs, but also lack of interest from the community at large. And again, that kind of comes back to all the issues that it's having. It's this kind of like cyclical effect. And I'm not here to bash on Battlefield 4 or anything. I just want to kind of get the background of Battlefield 4 and why I think this is important, why I'm bringing this whole topic up. But now, Titanfall. Titanfall is right around the corner, and everyone is looking forward to this as like the next big thing. Now, whether or not that's actually going to happen, whether it is the next big thing, that remains to be seen. For me personally, my interest is starting to build. People that I know that have played it at recent events are actually really high up on this game. And again, that's kind of what has led me to talk about this. It's something that's actually been on my mind for several weeks now. And to the heart of the commentary is, what impact will Titanfall's success or failure have on Battlefield 4? And these are my thoughts, and after everything's said and done, I really want to hear what everyone else's opinion is on this. As far as if Titanfall is successful, these are my kind of thoughts and predictions. I actually really think that the numbers for Battlefield 4 are going to tank, and the game is never going to recover from that. Now, by the numbers tanking, I mean that on PC and Xbox only, because that's where Titanfall is available. PS4 will not be affected by this. Coverage on Twitch will probably tank. I mean, BF4 is already really low as it is, but I can definitely see those numbers really taking a hit. Now, I don't think it's going to be the death sentence of Battlefield 4, but I do see it taking a significant hit. Now, one saving grace about this whole thing is that Titanfall is not similar to Battlefield in so much that, yes, it is a first-person shooter, but it's a sci-fi shooter. It's going to have mech units, which, yeah, Battlefield has vehicles, and I guess you could say, they're kind of the same, it's vehicles, but not really, it's not the same. Player count is a lot smaller. It's a first-person shooter, but that's kind of where the similarities end. So people that are not interested in those kind of games, they're going to stick around to Battlefield 4 or any other first-person shooter that's similar to that, and they're not going to go to Titanfall regardless. But there are a lot of people that are excited about this game, and if it's successful, I think it's going to have a major, major impact on the numbers of Battlefield 4. I mean, right now, there's like just little to no incentive to go back to the game because it just doesn't even function as well as its predecessor. And even that, Battlefield 3 had its own fair share of bugs. So, again, if Titanfall is really successful, I can see this kind of being the final nail in the coffin for Battlefield 4. And it's going to be really, really ugly for that game's future. Now, that could just be me, the way I see things, but based off of what, the general vibe I'm getting from the community, the overall lack of views for this game, the overall interest in it, I mean, the writing's kind of on the wall, guys. Everyone's just kind of waiting on the next big thing to take over, and everyone's going to drop this game like a bad habit. That's how I see it, but I would love to hear what your thoughts are on that. Now, if Titanfall fails, this could and most likely will be extremely bad for EA, whether they deserve the blame or not. Now, talking to some friends of mine, they've mentioned that in this case, EA doesn't really own anything or any of the rights to Titanfall. The developers themselves were able to negotiate it in that they own everything and they've made all the final calls. And this game has been in development for about 3 years now, so in all likelihood, it probably won't fail and it probably won't launch with a lot of bugs. But we have been proven wrong many a time recently, so I'm not really holding my breath. I'm going into this game very, very guarded. Now, again, regarding EA, their name is tied to the game as they are the backers/producers of it, and their recent track record with big game launches is, well, to be fair, exceedingly poor. If it fails, I don't see Battlefield 4's numbers of active players, at least, taking a significant hit. There'll be core fans that will like it and play Titanfall no matter what, just like any other game out there. So there'll at least be some sort of community going on for Titanfall at the very least. But with all of that said, and this one I'm kind of going out on a limb on, but it's something, at least a trend I could see starting to develop. I can see a lot of people just leaving the FPS genre in general and moving on to something else, because let's face it, the FPS launches of late haven't really been overly good. I mean, they've been fun and they've been pretty enjoyable, but they have not met the overall success that a lot of people have expected out of it. People can only take so many disappointments after disappointment after disappointment, and eventually more and more people are going to throw their hands up in the air and say, you know what, I've had enough. There's just no point in holding my breath anymore for something to be delivered and it never meeting expectations, so I'm just going to go on to something that they are capable of doing it, even if it's something entirely different. I mean, don't get me wrong, not all first-person shooters that have come out have been bad. There's some small hits out there like Insurgency. I haven't played it yet, but the overall vibe I've been getting from this game is actually very good. It definitely seems to be picking up a lot of steam and popularity lately. It's not exactly a threat to AAA titles out there. As far as I know, I don't think it's got a ton of players right now. But, I mean, you never know. It could be one of those cult hits that kind of breaks out and becomes really popular just because it's a solid game that everyone really enjoys playing. You never know. But, so, I don't want to throw out this blanket ban that all FPS launches have sucked. I'm just saying that the big AAAs haven't really met expectations of the masses, and I think it's starting to wear on people. That's my own opinion. I'm not saying it as fact. That's just how I see it as a gamer that's kind of a part of everything and just kind of paying attention to the overall community and the general vibe that's going on around everything. I don't know. It's really hard to say if there's going to be any negative repercussions at all if Titan fails. And how little or far-reaching those repercussions could be. But it does kind of make you think, like, okay, well, what's going to happen when this next AAA title fails? Or, sorry, if it fails. Things could get very, very interesting. So, to kind of wrap this all up, for myself, what am I going to do in either situation? If the game's good and it's fun, I'm going to play the absolute crap out of it. I'm not against playing any game as long as I enjoy it in some way or form. I mean, Battlefield 4, for all of its issues and stuff, I still at least enjoy it a little bit. But the only reason I'm playing it at this point is because there's really nothing else out there that I am personally interested in that has grabbed my attention more than Battlefield 4. Now, if the game's bad, I'm not going to give it the time of the day. It's that simple. I mean, it's got to be pretty damn bad, at least worse than Battlefield 4 in my opinion. And if that's the case, then no, I'm not going to play it, and it's simple as that. But at this point, I'm done rambling. I want to know what everyone else's thoughts are regarding Titanfall and Battlefield 4. How one may or may not impact the other, and how so, and all the different possible repercussions out there. I'm curious to know what other people are thinking, because I know I've kind of got some out there thoughts regarding the potential impact of how Titanfall goes. So, thank you guys for watching. Go ahead, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and I'll be sure to respond to a ton of them. I'm curious to see what everyone's going to say. Catch you later, guys.